Just ask Angel Reese what happens when a WNBA player is more concerned with Instagram likes than making layups. Her most recent stunt has even caused her fans to facepalm her so much that it forced her to do the unthinkable. However, while Reese is busy breaking the internet, and not in a good way, Caitlin Clark is breaking records in the gym. Here's an interesting thought. What if Reese spent as much time on her game as she does on her selfies? Instead, she's strutting down red carpets, complaining about her pay, and deleting her social media in shame? Yes, you read that correctly. It's really exciting and rewarding to watch these younger athletes enter their professional careers. Caitlin and Angel are two excellent examples. However, while one WNBA rookie is busy hitting the delete button on her social media, another is busy deleting her competition on the court. Let's talk about the story. Balboa is wearing a basketball jersey, working out hard to perfect her craft, and somehow still finding time for charity work. Trust me, you won't believe what Sue Bird had to say about this mess. We'll start with Angel Reese, the self-described Bayou Barbie who seems more interested in living up to her nickname than honing her skills on the court. Her most recent stunt involved wearing a mocha-colored animal print gown with a slit so high it could probably block shots better than she can, but guess what? That little fashion show didn't go over so well with her fans. It's funny, I just did another show right before this one, and we talked about how this younger generation just wants to cry and be victims about everything. Yes, you heard that right. Reese's Instagram account went viral faster than her hopes of becoming the next big thing in the WNBA because apparently some people thought her New Year's Eve outfit was a bit too spicy for a professional athlete. Don't worry, Reese fans, she's still serving looks on TikTok and Twitter. Because priorities, okay? I know you want to wear it, you feel good about it, you play in the WNBA, but you can't cry or say anything. Take a look at some of her TikTok posts where she's literally holding up an outline after getting waxed. Her entire business is outlined in blue wax, and I'm like, oh, please tell me how sexualized you are. What are you going to do? The problem is that while Reese is busy lip-syncing to songs about how amazing she is, her critics are singing a different tune, claiming that her social media presence is all about fashion and personal branding take a backseat to basketball, as if she's trying to be a Kardashian with a jump shot, but the jump shot part seems optional. I feel like I'm only scratching the surface and I want to keep going to the gym and working on that every day. Now let's turn the page and talk about Caitlin Clark, the person who's truly living up to the hype. Sure, she does some official court activities like a round of golf here and a little charity work there, but guess where she spends the majority of her time? In the courtroom. What if I told you that Clark's off-season routine, which includes intense workouts, skill drills, and yes, actual basketball, could make even seasoned professional athletes perspire? That's a novel idea. If you have a new coach who will give you new looks and game plans, you have another season with Leah Boston, who is probably Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hull, and then you have the moves the Fever can make in the offseason, whether it be through free agency or the draft, to bolster the roster. Clark isn't just honing her already impressive shooting accuracy. While Reese is busy building a house of cards with Instagram posts, she is getting stronger, honing her left-hand game and developing a mid-range floater. It appears as though she is building a basketball empire. However, perhaps Reese needs some advice from a WNBA legend. Oh, but now that they are in that world, my only recommendation is usually to make sure that basketball remains the main focus, because at the end of the day, that is your vehicle. While Angel Reese is busy trying to break the internet, Sue Bird just dropped a bombshell that could end Reese's career. The WNBA legend recently entered the ring, and she's not holding back. Let's be honest for a moment. When S. Bird talks, everyone listens, and this time she has some advice that has everyone wondering if she's attempting to save Reese's career or foretell its demise. Ree has a podcast, so whatever she does, it's her vehicle to get there, so you always want to make sure that part doesn't fall off. Bird didn't name names, but when she made the comparison between athletes' personal brands and their on-court performance, she might as well have been looking directly at Reese. Bird's warning isn't just about missing a few gym sessions. She's talking about the big picture, the long game, the stuff that actually matters in a pro athlete's career. She's basically saying, hey, keep your eye on the ball, not the camera. It's a balance you have to find, that balance. She even brought up LeBron James, pointing out how King James never misses a workout, despite his massive off-court commitments. Is telling Reese that King James never skips a workout. Blueprint for the business and the sport, you never see LeBron miss a workout. Now let's connect the dots. Birds is sharing these pearls of wisdom, but where is Reese? Oh, she's just busy with podcast interviews and red carpet appearances, complaining about her pay and acting like she's trying out for Real Housewives of the WNBA rather than concentrating on becoming a real WNBA player. The thing is, Bird isn't just making this up. She's a legend for a reason, and it has nothing to do with her Instagram following. She has witnessed what happens when players lose focus on the game, and it's not pretty. Talking about shorter careers, fading skills, and a one-way ticket to remember when. Status, a lot of the videos we see of Caitlin Clark show real men, grown men, in her face, trying to stop her from making shots and this and that. On the other hand, there aren't many hands in Angel Reese's face, and I find it confusing that she's trying to become this long-range player. It looks like she plays under the basket, or we assume she did. Guess what happens when you put your media visibility before your layup? It belongs on TikTok, not the WNBA. And trust me, Reese has a lengthy blooper reel on the internet, which is precisely what Bird is warning about. With that said, when was the last time you saw a training montage of the Bayou Barbie that wasn't heavily edited? Let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with building your brand, but when it begins to overshadow your game, that's when the alarm bells should start ringing. But what is Caitlin Clark doing? We'll talk about that in a moment. We have a full-on chorus of critics who aren't exactly singing Reese's praises. She is a rookie in the league whose team sucked, who asked out at the end of the season with an injury, who won't shut about herself, who ran their best player out of town. The coach got fired, and she started a podcast 5 seconds into the incident, causing all this controversy to appear. Let's start with Dave Portnoy, the Barstool Sports Big Cheese, who isn't known for holding back when he speaks. When it came to our favorite spotlight-chasing baller, Portnoy went off about what he called Reese's classless behavior. But what's really got him so upset is that your first-round draft pick had the season she had. The controversy, got hurt in a questionable injury, asked out, and then started a podcast gossiping about everything in the league as a rookie, please. Meanwhile, Caitlin's is in the gym, and you don't hear from her at all. She cares about the game. So how irritated. Shaquille O'Neal, an LSU legend and Reese's mentor, walks in just as you thought Reese might get a break. Shaq is not just any critic. He's a man who knows a thing or two about striking a balance between on-court dominance and off-court fame. So when he speaks, people listen. And what he says, oh, you know who you are. You're the female Antoine. You know those red carpet appearances, the never-ending social media posts, and the whole look at me routine, and poor noise point fans want to see ballers and not influencers. Jameson, you know who Anto Jameson is, and he scored 200 points with his shot. For those who don't know much about NBA history, that's not a compliment. Jameson was talented, yes, but he never lived up to the superstar hype. Shaq is essentially saying that Reese is just a role player who plays as a superstar. You would think that with all this heat, Reese would be working out and proving her detractors wrong. But guess again, the only thing she appears to be working on is her social media game. Angel was the most ineffective player within 5 feet in the whole WNBA, so those overly manipulated three-point shot films aren't deceiving. In any case, she shot poorly from the field. She's 6'3" and plays beneath the hoop, and she scored 39 points. 1% from the field. Here's the thing, no one is arguing that Reese can't have a life outside of basketball, but when your off-court antics begin to eclipse your on-court performance, you realize what's actually wrong. While some players are busy chasing fame and red carpet appearances, Caitlin Clark appears to be pursuing greatness. Her off-season routine is no joke, I tell you. I just come out here and try to play basketball in a way that people love watching, in a way that will make my team successful, and the records and whatever the stats that come with it are just what comes with it. Now, you might be asking yourself, come on, is she really working that hard? It's even more intense than you'd imagine. Strength training that would make professional athletes win, shooting drills that could wear out a machine, and scrimmages that resemble championship games more than practice sessions are all part of the basketball lab. But this is where things get really interesting. Clark isn't just working hard, she's getting surgical with her skill development, focusing on specific areas of her game that will take her from great to unstoppable. If you guys saw this workout, it has gotten a lot of people excited for Caitlin Clark because she is like directly working on her weaknesses, which I think is although Caitlin Clark is already a master with the ball, let's not overlook the fact that she led the league in turnovers last season. Her teammates were adjusting to her jaw-dropping next-level passes, some of which even they didn't anticipate. And even though things improved after the Olympic break, there's no denying the intense ball pressure she bases double and triple teams are practically by honing her control under pressure, Clark is tackling this challenge head-on next. The mid-range game is a major upgrade. Everyone is aware of Clark's legendary logo threes and her ability to dominate at the rim last season, where she shot an incredible 62% within 5 feet of the hoop. However, that mid-range shot has been her one weakness, and opponents have taken advantage of it by forcing her into those looks. Now that she's countering, adding a dependable floater and pull-up jumper to her arsenal makes her even more deadly and practically impossible to stop. Finally, Clark is working on finishing through contact. She has never shied away from driving to the basket, but the WNBA's physicality is a whole different beast. It's not just about skill, it's about building her strength and simulating game day physicality to prepare for the bumps, shoves, and hits that come with life in the paint. Clark is ready to take the punishment and still finish strong. The scary part is that this isn't just a workout routine. Clark isn't maintaining her game. She is leveling it up and addressing her weaknesses with laser focus, and the implications are absolutely terrifying.